Well, good morning, YouTube. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today's project is going to be building a Shelterlogic shed. We've got the Autoshelter 1020 here. And instead of using this, the somewhat inexpensive, okay, cheap, shitty cover that comes on it, I got the upgraded version. So we'll see how that turns out. The plan is to go from about where the window is there over this direction, which should be right about where that box is. And it should come down to about here. I'm doing this by myself, so it's going to take a couple days, and we're going to get creative with the directions. So follow along, enjoy the show. Hopefully you guys can see everything good here. Maybe too far over that way. We'll try to go right about there. All right, here we go. So we'll crack open this box. The box weighs about 300 pounds, so you don't want to be messing around too much with lifting it by yourself, that's for sure. You're not going to get far. Okay. Step one. So I had a Shelterlogic shed up here before, and I have the anchors for it and everything, so we're good on that. Blah, blah, blah. Anchor guide. Directions. Yeah. Get out of here. Get this crap out of the way. Maybe. Thinking about maybe using the canvas cover, this old one. Well, it's not old, it's new, but the lower quality version as maybe a floor for the inside. It's kind of a vapor barrier to help keep condensation under control. But first, I gotta get it out of the box. Oh, and out of the way. The numbers that they show on the directions are marked on the parts, so that's kind of handy. So I got the 801-272 peak, end peak right here, and they go to 8026-32s along the sides anyway, and that's not one of them. It's a 599. Where do the 599s go? Well, nowhere in this picture, of course. All right, well, I have to say one thing, that these the parts are marked and numbered, but you can't always read the number, and it doesn't appear to be consistent with all of them here. Some are marked and some aren't. So figure out what the hell you got if you can, I guess, huh? $682. No, I want 632. Well, it could be a 632. Is there any easy? Okay, I'm going to go with that. 632 right there. And is there another one like it? 634 is what that looks like. See, now I gotta show you something. Look at that. You gotta try and read those numbers off there. Good luck. I'm guessing that's 802634. What's this? 80263 question mark. Yeah. So another question mark. I might be digging through the old scraps to find pieces. I might have missing stuff here. Maybe, I don't know. Morning and welcome to day 2 of the Shelterlogic build here. Some progress was made yesterday after shutting down the video. Inventory took way too long yesterday, so I just stopped running it and started playing some music and slapped the rest of this together. Now what we've got here is the frame is half high. The bottom half of the legs are all sitting over there. So I did it this way so that I can lay out the canvas and pull it over the top, and then we'll raise it up after that with the canvas on there. So I'm not trying to pull the canvas over the full height of the thing by myself. I think it's going to be quite the pain in the butt to do this way. But there we go. Framework's in place. We'll get this going. Okay, here we go. We got the canvas over the top of the half frame. So next thing to do, I think, is to get her picked up all the way so that we can get this strapped in as we go. All right, well, we got her all put together and strapped in. I don't know if we did it right or not, but I sure hope so. There's a little problem I will show you momentarily. One of them is that these seem to be inside out from each other, because this doesn't make any damn sense. This should all, I think, be on the inside. Fucking wood tick. So I probably fucked that up. I have to do it again. Come inside here though, and look. You see, along each edge here on the bar, there's a reinforced part of the canvas. And there's one along the, whoops, not along the peak. Look, here's your peak, here's your reinforced area. There, it's a little off. And it's, you know, close to being on the line over here. You look at the bottom where the bars are going to go, those look pretty even right now. So I'm pretty sure this is a manufacturing defect. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to reposition everything here in just a minute. You know, that looks like it's right where it should be. I'll show you something on the inside here that didn't quite go how I expected. Oh, that's a little off. Look at that, we got a froggy. A little froggy. First one. I'm going to go around here. We'll get inside. And we got some challenges because we're not doing this on level ground. So things don't quite come out straight nice and easily, you know. We got to adjust as we go here. But down at the bottom where they cut slots for these pipes to go in, they're all a little bit off. So I had to cut some more. At least I did that on this side. Over here, I just tried to kind of cram them in there. That was a huge pain in the butt. Look at that. Especially that one. Anyway, for my next trick, we go back wall up against the barn wall there. Put the anchors in. And then I think we can walk away from this job for a while. Jesus. Okay, there she is. Finished product. We got what, maybe 6 inches gap there between the barn wall and the tent shed wall to keep the wind out. You can see where that reinforced crease is right on the bar right there. That's where you want to be on that. Looks like our bottom row is pretty good. The one thing that I don't think is right, these straps on the outside of the door one here, because how the hell is that supposed to stay in there? I don't think that's right. And it's all four corners like that. So I'll probably have to go back and fix that, which I'm sure will be a giant pain in the butt. I'm not going to bother going in there right now, but bottom line is she's done. It was a giant pain in the butt. I think I got the manufacturer defect like I talked about with the roof, you know, the peak of the top there, so we'll have to see what Shelterlogic has to say about that. Not sure I really want to tear it down and start over. Alright, a little view from a distance there.